Check, check, check. How do I am coming out in the speakers to me hearing it?
Hey everybody, it's Rogue Wildy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to complete the Forum Gauntlet. This will give you access to the Conductor's melody, which is one of 3 melodies you need to collect to gain access to the lift, which will take you to the final boss area up in the cradle. And as it starts off, this is the first wave here. You're going against one chorister, a reed, and an envoy. My method of getting through this is to attack the least annoying enemy first, trying to whittle down their health and get it down to a manageable number of enemies. In general, you'll be facing between 2 and 3 enemies per wave, depending on the wave. But use your Silkspear liberally and try to avoid taking damage early on, because you're going to need those Silkspears to thin out the waves as you go along. The enemies, you're going to learn their attacks as you play through this gauntlet more and more. I doubt you're going to be able to pass it on your first try unless you're extremely talented, but hey, I'm sure there's somebody out there. All in all, it's a very difficult fight. You have 11 waves to contest with, and a lot of the enemies are pretty stubborn. Their moves are hard to predict when you have more than one of them coming at you. Like here, we've got 2 of these ministers coming at you. These ones are actually not too bad. It's more difficult as it gets further into the waves. You're going to start to encounter more of the enemies. Here you've got your 2 Maestro wave. These Maestros they're actually not too difficult to face. Really, the method that works best for me is to stay underneath one of them, dealing as much damage as you can possibly get in. And then as soon as you kill one, you know you're in the clear. The second one's very easy to tackle. You just have to stay right below him, and when he throws out his automaton bugs, they cannot get you. So just stay low and then try to see where those are at so you don't get caught up in it. Now, this is the middle of the gauntlet. You're going against your first choir clapper. These enemies are pretty tough, and they don't give you much time to deal damage, so you really just want to rush in with a quick dash. Try to get in 1, at most 2 hits. I'm using the Reaper Crest along with the Silkspear. I do have some tools equipped that I don't actually use. I have my Fractured Mask on, just in case I do take any lethal damage anywhere in the fight. And then, like I said, I'm using my Silkspear pretty liberally throughout this, just to thin out the herd. If you have more than 3 enemies, it comes in handy, because you're going to be able to deal some major damage to these guys, that the weaker guys, especially at this stage of the game. If you've reached this point, you probably got a few extra masks, and you've collected a few crafting kits, so your tools would be a little bit stronger should you use them. I generally don't use the tools much. I probably should, but I just kind of focus on my main equipment here. Like I said, Reaper Crest, it has nice long arcing swings, and so I'm really a fan of the downward strike, because you can pogo off the enemies pretty well. And I do use the pogoing attack here quite a bit while I'm going through the gauntlet. But I'm starting to get pretty close here to the end, and like I said, this is where you're kind of wanting to conserve your silk a little bit, because you're going to probably need to bind at least once before you get to the end. This is one of the more difficult gauntlets because there's 11 waves, which already is a lot, not to mention that the final wave is extremely difficult, being that you're coming up against a lot of, well, you have 2 of these choir clappers that you're going to have to take out. And just one of them is pretty tough to deal with, but when there's both on either side of you, it's pretty difficult. So you can kind of follow along and watch my strategy as I'm going against them. As soon as the first one falls down, I'm trying to deal as much damage as I can to the enemy on the right hand side, and then I'm kind of focused on that one throughout, trying to get in as many hits as I possibly can. And you'll see as soon as my Silkspear becomes available, I'm using that because I want to get in as many attacks as I possibly can so I can take out one of these guys. As soon as you've cleared the first one, you're pretty much in the clear. But like I said, try to be strategic about it. Obviously, it's a little bit chaotic because there's 2 of them here, and it's just really hectic to try to, you know, pay attention to everything that's going on. You just kind of have to follow along, and if they're both attacking in unison, you're kind of out of luck. But if you've got them offset like I was lucky enough to do here in this fight, then you'll probably be okay. But like I said, you're probably going to play through this thing minimum of 5 times before you can actually get through to the end. But there you have it. It's all complete now, and you have access to your Conductor's Melody, which allows you access to the final boss.
Thank you very much for watching, and if you found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future content. I'll be uploading more tutorials over the next few weeks, and I'd love for you to join me live on Twitch, where I share gameplay, tips, and behind-the-scenes practice. You can just look me up. My handle is RogueWildy, just like here. Drop a comment also and let me know what you're currently working with or struggling on. That way I can help and make sure you get the tutorials you need to cover what you need in the future. So I'll see you in the next one.